Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dark Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class action figure of Origin Bumblebee. Before opening this set, let's see what details the case shows us. And this is kind of an open box figure here. There's no transparency. You can put your hand through this opening here and you can feel the figure even without opening it. Although there's nothing you can really check the test out. There's no like button to turn the lights on or anything. So again, the most you can do is just feel the action figure itself. And here on the front we have a picture of this figure's vehicle mode, because if anyone go back to watch the very first episode of the Transformers Generation 1 or the original Transformer cartoon, in the very first episode, Bumblebee is one of few Transformers that transform back on their home planet Cybertron before ever coming to Earth, and this was his original vehicle mode shown in the cartoon. So this figure could be a very interesting collection for those who enjoy like the original cartoon. And from the back you can also see this set included some energy rods here, and also back in the same episode we can see Bumblebee changing to this vehicle form. It's also when he and his fellow Autobots were looking for energy sources, and they found some of these energy rods. So this is basically like a figure and the set specifically designed to portray Bumblebee's very first scene in the Transformer franchise. And here again we have a picture of Bumblebee's robot mode as we saw from the front, and another picture of his Cybertronian vehicle mode. And looks like it takes 23 steps to transform between these forms. It looks like there's also a backpack for this, for the robot mode here. And there's not much other details shown on the case, so let's start opening this up now. Okay, so here we have the main figure on the cart and the little booster pack here. Looks like here's the accessories, most likely the energy rods we saw on the picture, and probably his weapon blaster as well. And here's the instruction manual. Obviously that will tell us how to transform the figure. But now let's first cut the figure loose here. this figure can stand very well without having to do any adjustment to the legs, really. So it's got very good balance. And let's also unpack these accessories here. Yes, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy rods and a blaster weapon. As well as a backpack booster for Bumblebee here. So let's check out what the instruction manual tells us, how we can work with the figure. So in the first step, so naturally we can have the figure hold a gun in its hands. And here it's showing us that the booster goes on its back, just as the case picture shows, and looks like you can also put the blaster on Bumblebee's shoulder. So that's one way you can have the figure carry the weapon without holding it in hand. And looks like you can try have Bumblebee carry the energy rod in the arm like this. And below we have the instructions on how to transform the figure from robot mode to the vehicle mode. Now let's see. There we go. All these steps lead into Bumblebee's saucer-like vehicle mode. And you can apparently put a booster pack on the top so that can look like make it look like a thruster, and the blaster on the side, the weapon. So now let's first explore the robot mode. So this booster pack goes on the back, so we just have to fit this hanger or hinge into this hole here. And now the pack is attached. And before we start working with the blasters, I want to first explore the articulation of this figure. Now let's see. Looks like, yeah, it took some effort, but you can turn the head left and right. You can raise the arm laterally 90-degree up like that. Also, you can also move it simply like this. And you can also move the arm so it's you can put on like a fighter's stance. Though looks like you cannot rotate the fists. Kick the leg. You can kick the leg up like 90-degree. Also bend the leg at the knee. The feet can kind of be flexible down here. And you can also turn the feet to inward, outward. So this angle adjustment will help you put on various kind of stance when you pose, trying to pose the figures. And the leg can also raise upwards like this. And the thigh, you can turn them inward, outward. And again, this helps for the posability of the stance. Some of the simplest fighting stances like this. And it can turn at its waist too, so it also help with posing. So you can like do a punching move like this. There's one more articulation in the arms here. You can rotate this way. So again, it helps putting on some kind of fighting stance. And of course the blaster goes on the hand here. And if you want to have Bumblebee carry it when not in use, just put it on either of the shoulder, which this also can kind of allows you to have it function still as a weapon this way. Can also go on the other shoulder. And with all this articulation, you can put on all different kinds of fighting stance or firing pose with a blaster. It depends on how you want to pose the figure. Might take some practice, but this figure has a lot of potential for posability in the robot mode. Lastly, we can have this figure hold the energy rods like this, just as you saw earlier in the instruction manual. Although it can be tricky because there's nothing really on the rod for the figure to steadily hold on to. You kind of have to keep them in place with the armor piece from either side of the leg. So this covers all of these figures featured in robot mode. Now let's start transforming it to the vehicle mode. Now we will start first removing this booster pack piece, and then you pull down the back armor piece here and pull this part up, flip it back up, and for now keep it like that. And then you pull the chest section up and flip this piece like that and pull it over the head. So now also keep it like that for now, and then you put the hand into the arm section, and then you twist the lower half of the figure, do a 180, and now we're gonna put the arms into the chest section, but you have to do it with the right arm first because there's a hinge here and a little opening here. You want to fit it into there, and this helps stabilize the form. And then fit this hinge to this opening here. Actually, sorry, it's this one. Oh, you make sure they all click tightly. And now we start transform the legs, which are the most tricky part of this transforming procedure. First, you pull down the feet. Then you start moving these pieces, and yeah, so you can kind of get loose. You have basically each of these pieces would have like a connector or a hinge on its ends, which after you just do a flip, you're very easily to see where they're supposed to fit into, like this. So just keep clicking. And then you have to turn the legs. I do about 90 degrees. And before going further, I want to say it's these two pieces here. It can be tricky to work with. They can keep falling out of place, and you might just have to keep pulling them back in. First, you have to click them in here. But like I said, they can keep falling out of place. And make sure this part gets fitting here. Do the same on the other one. Okay. And now pull this whole top section back up, fitting there, and click these two parts in. Now start making sure everything clicks together. There we go. So here we have Bumblebee in his Cybertronian vehicle or saucer mode. So unfortunately, in this form, this figure doesn't have any actual workable feature you can do anything with, because again, it's just basically a good looking saucer like hovercraft vehicle. It can't really do anything. There's no wheels, nothing you can kind of make it do with. So it's for good looking. Although, however, I would say in this form, because it's kind of almost like a flat desk, so it's a lot easier for you to store this figure away in this mode. And now let's complete it by attaching the accessory onto it. So again, this pack goes on top, and the gong or the blaster can be attached to the hole on either side. Let's put it over here. Or you can put it over here, depending on how you want which direction you like. Either way, it can still function as like a vehicle mode with attack capability this way. And that's the basic feature for this figure in vehicle mode. And again, I want to remind everyone, in this figure can be kind of tricky as you try to complete the transformation to this mode. And you kind of have to follow the instruction step carefully. Don't jump ahead, because again, in order to try to complete it nicely, you have to do it step by step to achieve the equilibrium that will make this figure's compact form really complete. And again, the tricky part will be these two pieces back here. It can fall off as you try to put them together, but it's fortunately all of these pieces are actually kind of soft, so as long as you don't push too hard, you shouldn't break anything. It just can get snap out of place, and it wouldn't be too much of a challenge to put them back. You have to be patient and take some practice to be good at this transformation. And now we have covered what this figure can do in both robot and vehicle mode. I would say the true value of this set is that it allows you to recreate the very first appearance or action scenes from Bumblebee, like at the very beginning of the Transformer franchise, because again, this figure and its vehicle mode, as well as all these energy rod pieces, they all serve to recreate Bumblebee's very beginning in the Transformer cartoon, as how he first appeared in Cybertron before both Autobots and Decepticons set off to the space journey, which eventually landed on Earth in the cartoon. So if that's what you're looking for, then this is definitely a good figure for you. It allows you to again put on the display that portrays Bumblebee and his comrades battle against Decepticon back on Cybertron, and as well as how they were scavenging for energy. But again, if that's not what you want, then you might not want to consider getting this figure. But overall, it has just about as good articulation as the most Transformer it has these days that allows for great possibility, and it transforms into a alien vehicle mode or a vehicle mode that's not of Earth. So if that's what you like, if you want a Transformer figure that turns into a non-earthly origin or alien vehicle, this will be a great item for you to consider. And I would recommend anyone who saw Transformer as since they were a kid to consider this. Again, this is like taking the whole time, the Bumblebee back to the very beginning of Transformer, and as Bumblebee is one of few Transformers that did show an alternate form before they arrive on Earth, this figure can represent a lot of nostalgia here. And if you still into collecting Transformers and based on the Generation 1 era, you definitely don't want to miss this one. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out other videos from my channel. And if you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.